POV. You're the kid who accidentally got involved with the cartel. You are 15 years old and you find it on TikTok on a Wednesday night in your bedroom in Iztapalapa, while your mother is washing dishes in the kitchen and your little sister is asleep. The video is 30 seconds. A man you can't identify, face off camera, fanning a stack of bills and talking about how he makes more in a weekend than most people make in a month. The caption says, "Quieres ganar bien? DM. Sin experiencia necesaria." You want to earn well? DM. No experience necessary. You watch it twice. You are not stupid. You are, in fact, one of the smartest students in your year at the secondary school 4 blocks from your house. Your math teacher said this to your mother at the last parent meeting, and your mother told you, and you felt the specific complicated pride of a compliment that exists in a context where the compliment's implications are unclear. Smart for what? Smart toward what? The school is understaffed, and the teachers turn over every semester, and the classroom has 38 students in it, and the career counselor comes twice a year, and the careers she counsels toward are the careers available in a neighborhood where labor informality reaches 45.3%, and poverty rates sit at 35%. Mexico News Daily. You watch the video a third time. You don't DM that night, you think about it for 4 days. During those 4 days, you go to school, and you do your homework, and you eat dinner with your mother and your sister, and you think about the stack of bills in a 30-second video, and you think about what your mother makes at the cleaning job, and what she makes at the weekend, market job and what the 2 jobs together produce, and what the 2 jobs together produce minus the rent and the food, and the sister's school supplies and the medication for your grandmother's blood pressure leaves at the end of the month. You know this number. You are 15 years old, and you know this number because knowing this number is what growing up in your house required. Your mother didn't tell you directly. The number is visible in the specific decisions that households under pressure make. The brand of cooking oil that gets bought and the brand that doesn't. The shoes that last another month with the sole held down by contact cement. The careful arithmetic of a woman who works 2 jobs and whose arithmetic is always present and always insufficient. You DM on Saturday. The response comes in 40 minutes, not a person. An account with no identifying information and a profile picture that is a generic image. The account asks, "How old are you? Where are you from? Do you have a driver's license?" You say 15, Iztapalapa, no license. The account says no problem, age is fine, no license is fine. It says the work is simple, deliveries, small packages, you pick up from one address and drop off at another. Pay is 800 pesos per delivery. The account says you can do 2 or 3 a week if you want. 800 pesos per delivery. Your mother makes approximately 280 pesos a day at the cleaning job on a good day. You say, "Okay, I'm interested." TikTok is one of the favorite digital platforms for children and adolescents, exposing them to an algorithm with minimal moderation, which makes them more vulnerable to organized crime. In border areas like Tijuana and Ciudad Juarez, reels show money and weapons with messages like, "I need brave, bold people." Al Jazeera. You are not in a border city. You are in Iztapalapa in Mexico City. The algorithm doesn't know the difference between border cities and capital neighborhoods when it is surfacing content. The algorithm knows you are 15 and interested in money and watches videos about making money, and that is sufficient information for the content to find you. The first delivery happens on a Tuesday after school. An address in Tepito, 2 metro stops from your neighborhood. You pick up a package from a man at a door who doesn't speak to you. The package is the size of a shoebox, wrapped in brown tape, heavier than it looks. You put it in your backpack. You take the metro to a second address in Gustavo A. Madero. A different man at a different door, who also doesn't speak to you. You hand him the package. You take the metro home. That evening, 800 pesos appears in a mobile payment account the DM account told you to set up. You look at the 800 pesos on your phone for a long time. You tell yourself you don't know what's in the package. This is technically true. You did not open the package. You do not have confirmed specific knowledge of the package's contents. What you have is a reasonable inference available to any 15-year-old in Iztapalapa who has been paying attention to the world he is growing up in, which is that a package picked up without conversation from a man in Tepito and delivered without conversation to a man in Gustavo A. Madero for 800 pesos in mobile payment does not contain something that can be transported through the legitimate economy. You know what you're carrying. You don't let yourself know what you're knowing. This is the specific cognitive management of a 15-year-old who is smart enough to understand his situation and who has decided that understanding it fully produces a decision he isn't ready to make. The partial understanding is the compromise. The compromise is what the 800 pesos costs in ways that aren't in the mobile payment account. You do 2 more deliveries that week. By Friday, you have 2,400 pesos in the mobile account. You give your mother 1,000 of it. You tell her you've been doing odd jobs for a neighbor. She doesn't ask which neighbor. The not asking has the same quality as your grandmother's not asking about your uncle's money years ago. A woman who understands that the question has an answer she doesn't want to live with and who chooses the receiving over the knowing. She thanks you and buys cooking oil and medication, and the contact cement for your shoes runs out because the sole can be replaced now. The specific cost of the new shoes is a thing you will think about for a long time. The contact deepens over the following weeks. Not dramatically. The way things deepen when there is no single moment that constitutes the crossing of a line, but instead a series of small movements that each feel like the previous movement and whose accumulated distance from the starting point is only visible when you look back at the starting point and find it further than you realized. Because they can't be charged as adults, drug cartels in Mexico recruit children to complete drug sales, act as lookouts, and even kill. Center for Strategic and International Studies. You understand now, 6 weeks in, that the age question in the DM was not about whether you needed a license. The age was the reason for the recruitment. You are 15. The system that processes criminal defendants processes 15-year-olds differently from adults. The difference is meaningful to an organization that has been running delivery operations through juvenile couriers for long enough to have optimized the use of the differential. You are the optimization. The man you eventually meet in person is not the man from the DM account. He is 28. His name is Marco, and he meets you at a taqueria in your neighborhood on a Wednesday, with the specific casual normalcy of a man who does not need to communicate urgency through his manner, because the arrangement has already communicated urgency through its terms. He is friendly. He asks about school. He asks about your family. He talks about his own family, his mother, the neighborhood he grew up in, which is a neighborhood similar to yours in the specific way that the neighborhoods that produce this conversation are similar to each other. You like him. This is the thing that nobody tells you about. Not the threats, not the violence, not the dramatic coercion of the movie version. You like the man who brought you into this because he is good at being liked and because the relationship he is building with you has a warmth in it that is real, even though the warmth serves a purpose. The warmth is both genuine and instrumental, and the two things coexist in the same man, and the 15-year-old sitting across from him can't fully separate them because he hasn't had enough experience with men who are simultaneously warm and using the warmth. Marco tells you the deliveries are going to change a little, the packages will be different, the routes will be longer sometimes, the pay will be higher on the longer routes. He says, "You've been reliable. We trust you." In this kind of work, reliability is the most important thing. He says this with the specific gravity of a man who is communicating a value that his world genuinely runs on. You nod. You say, "Okay." You go home, your sister is doing homework at the kitchen table. Your mother is not home yet from the cleaning job. You sit across from your sister and watch her work through a math problem, and you think about the packages, and Marco, and the mobile payment account, and the new shoes, and you think about the math teacher saying you were one of the smartest students in your year, and you think about, smart for what? The second phase of the deliveries is different. The packages are smaller. The routes take you to neighborhoods you know only as names. Ecatepec, Chimalhuacan, places on the metro lines that extend past the places your daily life requires you to go. The men at the doors are different men, some of them younger than Marco, some of them older, some of them who look at you with a quality of attention that is different from the doors during the first phase. The attention that reads you not as a delivery person, but as an asset being assessed. You are being assessed continuously. You understand this in the same peripheral way you